Well, hello everybody, welcome, my name is Rubydung, welcome to today's episode. I'm over here at the main base, getting some work done around the place. I have been doing a little bit of work off camera on some of the devices that I built last episode. Get all the way up here and you'll probably see the little bit that I have done. In which case, I went through and, for the sorters here, I first off put up the whole hopper line going all the way over here, and I also built a incinerator. It uses a cactus, boom. So not exactly incinerating, but it is destroying the items, and in case you're curious, it is getting rid of poppies because I do not need them. While the iron has been put in the sorter here, meaning the only thing that is missing now is the sugarcane. So let me go through and put that in, and boom, it is now working. So the sugarcane is being vetted through this hopper here, and is going down this line, in which case I need to put the last log in. Boom, now that is nice and complete. And I ran this hopper line to be going across the base, basically. It is going a very far ways. So let me try running all the way down to the section of the base that it is running all the way to, because it is running across that little section there. Then it is, as I'm going to be running down this area, it is running across the mushroom farm in part, basically across that area and across the little section, and then it is running directly above me, and boom! I didn't know what to do here, so I did this. I might wind up building like a second section going around it. This is the best I could really think. I was like, I have no clue how on earth to hide this thing, so I'm just not gonna. It's just going to wind up going through the center here. And then I wound up building a very small section all the way out over here. Boom, the hoppers are coming all the way out here, in which case if I hop up here, wood and sugarcane, which means that this whole thing is nice and working. So I can wind up constructing the actual little chest area that is going to contain all the little sugarcane, so that way I can craft that up into paper, which I'm going to need a chest somewhere in this whole thing. Not a chest, a crafting table somewhere in this whole thing. And then trade it over to this guy right here. And then get infinite emeralds. But one of the important sections to that is actually going to be making a sugarcane farm. So, before I wind up doing that, I need to designate a location in this base that is going to be holding the sugarcane farm, which is going to wind up being very, very big, unsurprisingly, because this is a good chance of being the biggest sugarcane farm that I have in the base. So, I need to figure out where I'm going to wind up implementing that, in which case I need to head all the way out here, and also get some stew while I'm running all the way out. I am going to need to figure out a section that I think would be a good spot to wind up having this connect to the base. Because theoretically, I don't need to actually walk to it. I just need to make sure that it accesses the hoppers. But there is only really, I shouldn't say one location, but there's really only, as I head all the way up there, a single level that I can wind up building this at. So either I build it at about that level or higher. So I'm kind of considering building it at like a T section running off from that area there, have it span down that direction, and then build it over that part of the base. So let me run over to that part of the base here real quick. But running that T section there where the water comes down, I think would be a good spot, because that is just kind of a natural intersection that I've kind of made there that's actually just kind of part of a hallway. So I think that'd be a good way to kind of splinter off. Then, I don't think I really have a good way of getting up there unless I have to walk a little ways. So I'm going to be running through the sand here a little bit. But I think a good location to wind up building it over is that I'm going to need to come all the way over here a little bit, so that way I actually can see the intersection. But I'm thinking a little bit past parts of the farms of this base, in which case, okay, so it's a little bit further. Okay, so it's somewhere around here then. Yeah, so probably somewhere above this location out here, I'm thinking. Which would be pretty good, because I think that right there is the racetrack. Some leaves over there. I just noticed them as like a Oh wait, no, yeah, this is the racetrack. So this is going to be basically right above the racetrack is going to wind up being the sugarcane farm, which I think is going to be a pretty good location to do that. So I'm going to begin construction of the off branch for the intersection, and then begin laying down the platform that is going to be the base for the sugarcane farm. Alright, I have gone through and I have put up the bridge for this area. I'm thinking this is going to be where I'm going to begin building the sugarcane farm. Which means that it is going to have the collection down there, and the collection is going to have to span all the way over to this area to connect, but I can build that a little off to the side, so it's not going to be directly underneath this platform, because obviously if I'm building these platforms, it is going to be a bit interesting because the ceiling and the floor and the walls here are glass. Like, this is basically just a glass tunnel whenever you go down these things. So there's not going to be anything that I can hide within this itself, because you could basically see every single block on this thing. The only thing that's like a little bit offset is the trapdoors from the outside, but you can't exactly hide anything behind the trapdoors because the bookshelves are on the other side of the trapdoors. Like, every single block here is being pronounced, so not much I can hide on this side, but I can have this be a little glass access way to the actual sugarcane farm, which I'm going to need to do some design decisions on. Oh boy, am I going to need to make some design decisions on. Oh boy, also I'm completely I'm not out of food, but I'm out of mushroom stew, so now I'm needing to do the thing where I'm needing to jump all the way down here just to get some mushroom stew or eat some pumpkin pie. Why am I not eating any pumpkin pie? Who knows? That's not something that I'm supposed to be dedicated to. Listen, I have a limited number of pumpkin pies outside of it being a fully renewable resource, but I have infinite mushroom stew if I go completely out of my way to eat it. But yes, I am going to begin the process of trying to figure out what type of sugarcane farm I'm going to want to build here. I think I might have an idea, but I'm going to need to go through at least a handful of designs. Alright, I've decided to go through and I have constructed what is the actual shell kind of thing for the actual storage area. So all the hoppers go in through here. I made a little storage thing, so the hopper feeds into this one. This hopper feeds all the way down here, so this one will be prioritized first. Then after feeding that one, it will feed into this one, so then this system will be fed. And then after that, this one here will be fed. So this kind of just goes boom, 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 and being fed. But I actually think it feels kind of in the opposite direction, weirdly enough, because all the sugarcane went down this direction. So apparently the hopper below takes priority away from the hopper that's pointing. So that's an interesting thing to keep in mind for the future. I'm pretty sure I already knew that, but I figured that out again, so that's always a fun thing that happens whenever that does indeed happen, figuring something out multiple times. And I also need to go through and fill in the little cracks that I wound up making here while trying to repair and put in this part of the actual base. And I also need to go through and actually put in the wall. Aha! And just like this. Oh, and I need to put the end bit on here as well. I need to swim all the way back now, I'm pretty sure, because I don't have any ender pearls on me. Let's see. Nope. Okay, I need to swim all the way back. Whee! But as I am going to be swimming all the way back here, that, guys, is probably going to be doing it for today's episode. But now that I got that constructed, there is going to have to be one thing that I do at least worry about somewhat. And that is gonna be this thing over here getting full, because that is a sugarcane farm that I'm going to keep leaving running. So I'm gonna have to at least keep a slight eye on that farm, so that way it doesn't overflow or anything. Because I'm not turning it off. There's no reason for me to turn it off. But it's a bunch of sugarcane, and I don't think there's a good way for me to hook that up to the system. Like, I'm trying to think of a good way and a good reason to hook it up to the system, and I'm just not seeing it. Like, it's gonna wind up being a much slower farm than the one that I'm gonna actually wind up building, but it's also just a cool, steady pace of sugarcane, so I could wind up using it, but it's just, I don't think I'm gonna wind up using it, sadly. So I think that farm is gonna wind up building up a lot of sugarcane, unless I'm, like, really needing a lot of emeralds for one particular point in time. But honestly, at that point, then hopefully the sugarcane farm I'm going to build is going to be so big that I wouldn't have to worry about something like that. But who knows? But yeah, now it's time for me to trade away all that paper that I just traded up. But anyways, guys, that's probably going to be doing it for today's episode. I did manage to get all of that paper nice and traded. There is just one small thing that I am still wanting to do, and I am probably going to wind up needing some ender pearls in order to do it, and a daylight sensor. But, guys, as I'm going to be hooking this up, that's probably going to be doing it for today's episode. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see me do anything in particular, please be sure to tell me. I always love hearing your guys' suggestions. There's always a billion ideas that I always can wind up doing in this series. And if you guys wind up having any particular ideas, I always want to hear them. This is a sandbox game, so there's an infinite number of projects that I can always wind up doing. And I have a billion given projects at a given time that I always can wind up doing. So, more ender pearls. And then, I believe I need to jump, nope, not down there, but down here, almost. Okay, I messed that up slightly. But I believe I can carve into here and get to where I'm wanting to go. Aha. In which case, what I'm wanting to do is just very quickly break out all of this. Just all of it. And you might be wondering why? Why would I do that? That is because I am considering instead, I just need to figure out where an opening is. Right here. Pick up all my repeaters. Zoop. Alright. And put down just a little bit of redstone. And boom. Probably want to put a pulse on that, though. But yeah, that's my basic thing that I'm wanting to do for the sugarcane farm. Reduce lag significantly. It's probably going to wind up hurting the rates a little bit. Why are these extended? Why are you extended? Let me extend all that again. Why are they all extended? Why are you all extended? Okay, anyways, guys, that's probably going to wind up being it for today's episode. I do hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be seeing you guys here in the next one. So long. See ya. Bye. I'm genuinely confused. Why are you all extended? Okay, that fixes it. Why does that fix it? I'm just so confused. Ah.